It is incredibly frustrating to make the wrong turn. You get off the wrong exit on a highway, you turn the wrong way on a street, and all of a sudden, you're going to reach your destination much later. But life is not a car ride. The wrong turns are part of the destination. In this coming week's Torah reading, we're told about God's choice of Avraham. And he gives Avraham a mission to create a new country in a new land. But what's fascinating is that God doesn't give Avraham coordinates. He tells Avraham, you're going to go El Haaretz Asher Areka, to the land that I will show you. And the commentator, the Ramban, explains that Avraham was meant to wander until whatever point it would be, that God would tell him, okay, now this is the land you're supposed to go to. Keep wandering until I tell you which land to stop at. And one has to wonder, why did God do that? Doesn't Avraham have a mission? Why doesn't God let Avraham fulfill the task at hand? And I think the answer is, for Avraham and for all of us, the journey is part of the mission. All of the wandering and the wrong turns and all of the challenges and all of the trials and all of the tests that Avraham has to go through is part of Avraham becoming Avraham. He can't create this new people in this new country until he is the person worthy of creating that new people in that new country. And the lesson of the Torah is that life experience is a critical element in learning. There's much that you can learn from Torah, there's much that you can learn from science, but perhaps where you learn the most is from life experience. And very often we learn the most from our mistakes and from our wrong turns and from our tragedy and from our suffering. And the Torah wants us to understand that just like for Avraham, the journey is part of the mission, so it is true for us. Rabbi Yisrael Zev Gusterman was a survivor of the Holocaust. He tragically lost a young child during the war, and he became then a prominent Rosh Hashiva. He was perhaps one of the most brilliant, if not the most brilliant mind of his generation. He was first a Rosh Hashiva in America and then in Israel, and every year in Israel, he would go to a children's parade in Jerusalem. Now, it's very unusual to have a respected rabbi standing and watching these children. It would seem too elementary and trivial for him to be there. And one of his students once asked him, why do you go to this parade every year? And his answer was illuminating. He said, those of us who saw the suffering of children understand how beautiful and how miraculous it is to see children in the streets of Jerusalem. Rav Gustman is reminding us that there are many things we do not fully appreciate. There are many things we do not fully understand until we're able to bring our life experience to it. And sometimes we don't understand them until we've made the wrong turn. And after making the wrong turn, we may end up being the right person.